This morning, winter weather returns to mid-Michigan, creating some potentially dangerous travel conditions for those who plan to hit the road today for Thanksgiving. Plus, a holiday tradition returns to downtown Lansing, the annual Turkey Trot 5K, which is expected to draw thousands of people from all across the state.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News this morning.
Good morning. Today's Thursday, November 27th. I'm Kirk Montgomery. Megan has the day off. We're starting with meteorologist Kendall Wilson. A lot of people want to travel today, and weather is on everyone's radar, so to speak.
Yes, indeed. So speaking of radar, let's take a look. Live Storm Tracker 6 Doppler radar showing snow showers beginning to taper off for the time being across mid-Michigan. I will mention, even though they are drying things out across the area this morning, additional rounds of lake effect snow in the forecast this afternoon, which will create some travel impacts across the area. That snow going to be combined with some very gusty winds. Current wind gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour across mid-Michigan. Those winds will stay pretty persistent as we go throughout the rest of the day. So the combination of those two things, the snow and the wind, is going to reduce visibility across mid-Michigan. That is likely going to be my main concern, in addition to a couple of slick spots across the area this afternoon and evening. Conditions will begin to improve as we move throughout our Friday as dry weather returns. Then yet again, Saturday afternoon and evening, a more impactful system will move into the region, bringing more snow and more travel impacts as well. Kirk?
All right, Kendall, thank you. As a reminder, the City of Lansing's Code Blue emergency weather plan now in effect, allowing local shelters to temporarily increase capacity and extend their hours. Now, during this time, the Lansing Police and Fire Departments will take people needing help to local shelters, and CATA will offer free rides to shelters every day it's in effect, except for today because of the holiday. Code Blue will remain active until 7 o'clock Monday morning. The search for answers still underway after a gunman opened fire, critically wounding 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. President Trump describing it as a monstrous ambush-style attack and as vowing to bring the person responsible to swift and certain justice. As Michael George reports, multiple law enforcement officials say the suspect, an Afghan national, has been taken into custody but is not cooperating with authorities.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror.
President Trump says the suspect responsible for shooting 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. Wednesday will pay the steepest possible price.
We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice.
The ambush-style attack on the 2 National Guard members, both from West Virginia, happened shortly after 2 p.m., just blocks away from the White House, outside of a metro train station.
A suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members.
Multiple sources tell CBS News a third uninjured National Guard member shot back at the gunman, hitting him and ending the attack.
We heard rapid gunshots.
Witness Michael Ryan described the scene after the suspect was subdued before being taken into custody.
They had a person pinned on the ground yelling at him to stay down.
Law enforcement officials say the lone suspect, identified as 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanullah Lakhanwal, is believed to have entered the U.S. in 2021. In the wake of the shooting, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said hundreds more National Guard troops will be deployed to D.C.
We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities.
The FBI is leading the investigation into the ambush. Michael George, CBS News.
And this morning, several law enforcement agencies are looking for a man in Howell, and they're hoping you can help find him. Take a look. This is Nicholas Hornback. Howell police say he is wanted in connection for stalking and domestic assault following an incident that happened on Monday. Hornback is 30 years old, stands 5'11", and weighs about 200 pounds. Police say he took off on Tuesday when officers tried looking for him at a home on the city's south side. The number for the Livingston County Central Dispatch is on your screen. Give them a call if you happen to see Hornback. Today, multiple businesses and organizations will spend the holiday making sure that everyone who needs a hot meal can get one. One of those organizations includes Arms and Embers Grill in Grand Ledge. For the first time, it's offering a free hot Thanksgiving lunch this afternoon from noon to 4. The owners say a generous sponsor, Exteriors of Lansing, made it possible. They plan to feed up to 200 people.
We want people to know that they can come here and have a nice warm meal and just be comfortable and no questions asked, nothing like that. So we just want everybody to feel safe.
There are a handful of other places offering a free Thanksgiving meal today, including the Cristo Rey Community Center in Lansing, Blondie's Barn in Hazlet, and the MLK Center in Jackson. You can find a full list on our website, WLNS.com. And this morning, downtown Lansing will kick off Thanksgiving with the return of the annual Turkey Trot. The 5K is expected to draw more than 5,000 people from all across the state and beyond. It begins this morning at 9 o'clock at Adado Riverfront Park on Grand River Avenue, and fast runners are encouraged to line up towards the front. And due to construction, however, the course will be slightly different from previous years, but organizers say it will still be scenic. And in Jackson, the city will also host its own Turkey Trot. That's set to begin later this morning. People can take part in a 5K run, 5K walk, or a 10K run. The race will also be professionally timed by the Michigan Running Foundation. And all of this happens at 9 o'clock this morning and will take place at Ella Sharp Park.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Temperatures across mid-Michigan as we go throughout the rest of the day are going to stay incredibly chilly. Current readings are mainly sitting in the upper 20s to low 30s. We're at 29 degrees right now in Hastings, 28 for your current temperature in Hillsdale. Most other locations currently in the low 30s, but wind chill temperatures, however, falling down into the mid to upper teens. Lake effect snow beginning to taper off across mid-Michigan for the time being. However, as we go throughout the afternoon hours of the day today, notice the chance for snow yet again going to increase across the region. Again, since this is going to be lake effect snow, it's not going to be widespread. It's going to be those traditional bands that we are typically used to seeing with these kinds of events. So slick travel conditions still going to be possible, especially if you are heading off to our west. And since our temperatures are only going to make it up to 32 degrees, which, mind you, is 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Once that snow falls, it's going to be able to stick.
Yeah, be careful out there, especially if you're traveling towards the west, right?
Yes.
Or up north.
West and up north, even as you go to the east side, you won't completely escape the impacts. They will, however, be lighter.
Okay. All right, thanks, Kendall. Still ahead, the second largest homeless overnight shelter in Lansing will be closing its doors next year. What will happen next after it closes? That's in our What's on the Web segment. And a little bit later, the Pistons hoping to make franchise history. 6 News sports director Ian Kress will show you how that went in your morning sports. The time now is 6:37. Thank you so much for watching 6 News this morning.